Welcome to the information channel, your go-to source for expanding your knowledge effortlessly. No need to watch videos, just press play and listen. Let's get started. World War II, 1939 to 1945. Introduction. World War II was the largest and most destructive conflict in human history, lasting from September 1st, 1939 to September 2nd, 1945. It involved more than 100 million people from over 30 countries and resulted in an estimated 70 to 85 million deaths, or about 3 to 4% of the world's population at the time. The war fundamentally reshaped the global political, social, and economic order, paving the way for the modern world. Causes of the war. The roots of World War II lay in the aftermath of World War I and the Treaty of Versailles, 1919, which imposed harsh reparations and territorial losses on Germany. Key causes included rise of fascism and totalitarianism. Economic hardship and nationalism fueled the rise of leaders such as Adolf Hitler in Germany, Benito Mussolini in Italy, and militarist factions in Japan. Expansionist ambitions. Germany sought to overturn Versailles and expand eastward. Italy aimed to create a new Roman Empire. Japan pursued dominance in Asia and the Pacific. Failure of the League of Nations. The League was unable to prevent aggression in Manchuria, 1931, Ethiopia, 1935, and elsewhere. Policy of appeasement. Britain and France allowed Hitler to annex Austria, 1938, and the Sudetenland, Munich Agreement, 1938, hoping to prevent war. The immediate trigger was Germany's invasion of Poland on September 1, 1939, prompting Britain and France to declare war. Major theaters of war. 1. European theater. 1939 to 1941, Blitzkrieg and expansion. Germany swiftly conquered Poland, Denmark, Norway, the Low Countries, and France. Britain stood alone after France's fall, June 1940, resisting in the Battle of Britain, 1940. 1941, Operation Barbarossa. Germany invaded the Soviet Union, beginning one of the largest and bloodiest campaigns in history. Initially successful, the German advance stalled at Moscow and was later pushed back at Stalingrad, 1942–43. 1944–1945, Liberation of Europe. The Allies launched the D-Day invasion, June 6, 1944, in Normandy, liberating France and advancing into Germany. Soviet forces closed in from the east, culminating in the fall of Berlin in May 1945. 2. Pacific Theater. Japan's expansion, 1937–1942. Japan invaded China in 1937, committing atrocities such as the Nanjing Massacre. After attacking Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, Japan rapidly seized territories across Southeast Asia and the Pacific, turning the tide. The U.S. Navy won decisive battles at Midway, 1942, and Guadalcanal, 1942–43. Island hopping campaign. Allied forces gradually recaptured territory, moving closer to Japan. Fierce battles at Iwo Jima and Okinawa, 1945, foreshadowed the high cost of invading Japan. Atomic bombs and surrender. The U.S. dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima, August 6, 1945, and Nagasaki, August 9, 1945. Japan surrendered on September 2, 1945. 3. African and Middle Eastern fronts. Italy's invasion of Egypt and Greece expanded the war. German Afrika Korps, led by Erwin Rommel, fought the British in North Africa. The Allies won decisive victories at El Alamein, 1942, and later invaded Italy, 1943, toppling Mussolini. The Holocaust and war crimes. The war was marked by atrocities on an unprecedented scale. The Holocaust. Nazi Germany systematically murdered 6 million Jews, along with millions of others, Roma, Poles, Soviet POWs, disabled people. Japanese war crimes included massacres, forced labor, and experiments on humans, e.g., Unit 731. Civilian bombing. Cities like London, Dresden, Tokyo, and many others faced devastating air raids. Technology and strategy. World War II saw major innovations in warfare. Tanks, aircraft carriers, submarines, and radar played decisive roles. Strategic bombing targeted industries and civilian morale. Nuclear weapons were used for the first, and only time. Code-breaking efforts, e.g., breaking the Enigma code, gave the Allies critical advantages. End of the war. Europe. Germany surrendered unconditionally on May 8, 1945, V-Day, after Hitler's suicide. Pacific. Japan surrendered on September 2, 1945, VJ Day, after the atomic bombings and Soviet entry into the war against Japan. Consequences. World War II transformed the world order. Human cost, estimated 70 to 85 million deaths, including combatants and civilians. Refugees and destruction, millions displaced. Much of Europe and Asia lay in ruins. United Nations founded, 1945, created to prevent future global conflict. Cold War begins. The US and Soviet Union emerged as rival superpowers, dividing the world into two ideological blocs. Decolonization. European empires weakened, paving the way for independence movements in Asia and Africa. War crimes trials. The Nuremberg trials and Tokyo trials prosecuted leading war criminals. Legacy. World War II remains the most catastrophic conflict in human history, reshaping nations, borders, and societies. It led to the spread of democracy in Western Europe and Japan, the rise of communism in Eastern Europe and China, and the beginning of a nuclear age that still defines global politics. If you enjoyed our content and learned something new, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way, you'll be the first to know when we share more valuable information. Thank you for your support.